What up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today on Fitness Tech Reviews, we're going to be going over the Reebok Nano 10s. This is the 10th iteration of the Reebok Nano series. We're going to go over if it's the right fit for you, what workouts you could use it for, and if it's good value. Let's go ahead, get right into it. I've been with the Reebok Nanos since the 2s, since I first started with CrossFit, so I've really been working and growing with the Nanos as they evolve. I really love some designs, I really hated some designs, but this year, I looked at them online. I really didn't feel like I would actually like this year's design. It looked a little high on the heel, but when I got them in person, I actually started to really learn to love the design. So first looking at these guys, the flex weave on the top is very similar to the 9s, but it is actually a little bit more flexible up top, so it's going to be a little bit better. Talking about that, we're going to go into fit a little bit later in the video, so that's going to come into that. The tongue itself is also a little bit higher, and so of course is this heel, but of course it's giving you a little bit more cushiony as well. It still has that same 4mm drop from the heel to the toe, not centimeter like I said before. It has lightweight EVA foam throughout the midsole to give you a nice cushiony feel, so it's a little bit more cushiony, but not much than the Nano 9s. But as far as the overall designs from the 9s to the 10s, you could tell is a striking difference. The 9s are a little bit more basic, where the 10s, you know, they have the Reebok symbol on the back with this leathery feel. The Nano 10, you do have a little bit of the Delta sign in the front and in the center of the shoe. But overall, I feel like it is a great design. It has a little bit more layers in the front, but they aren't flexible right here. So it does have a little bit more of a booty feel when you have it in there with two separate layers. Alright, now let's get into the comfort and fit of these guys. So they are pretty comfortable. They fit relatively like a sock. The only thing I did see a little bit different is it isn't as flexible as the 9s. As far as you can see, the 9s, they kind of crunch all together. The 10s, they're going to be a little bit more sturdy in the back, which is great for stability, but we'll get into that in a little bit. As far as the comfort is concerned and the fit, the toe box is a little bit more narrow, so for wider feet is a little bit more narrow, but it kind of does a little bit better with the flex weave to give you a little extra flex with it. I did use the same size I did on the 9s, and I felt a little tighter initially, but after a little bit of use, it's opened up a little bit and feels a lot more comfortable. I know a lot of people tend to feel a little bit more cumbersome in the top of the foot, so if you are looking for that, make sure maybe go a half size bigger, but always remember, return your shoe if it doesn't fit correctly and get the right shoe. You don't just want to be working out in a shoe that's too tight or too loose. And as far as the bottom of the shoe is concerned, they pretty much have the same exact bottom of that shoe, the sole of the shoe. So there is no real difference from one shoe to the other, the 9s to the 10s. As you can tell on my 9s, they are pretty beat up. I use them a lot, so I kind of expect the same from the 9s, but they were great. They still stick to the floor very well and great for, you know, changing direction, stuff like that. So if you were to get this fitted, I would recommend, if you had the 9s, you can go with the same size for that, but if you do have a regular shoe that is comfortable for you, I'd probably go with that. I mean, 9s work pretty well for me. Usually for my athletic shoes, I go 8.5, but I wouldn't be too unhappy if this was a 9, but the 8.5 worked great for me. Alright, talking durability and workout performance. As far as I already said about the sole of the shoe, the durability here, it's great, but it will wear relatively quickly. You will definitely need to buy a new pair of shoe at year's end if you're using it 3 times a week at a minimum. And so as far as the shoe is concerned, that's where you're really going to feel a little bit less durable. But as far as the remainder of the shoe, the flex weave, I felt like the toe actually stayed in there relatively well. Even if you're on your toes for planks or if you're kicking out for burpees and stuff like that, the toe into the shoe works very well. Also, talking about the interior, so we have this rope Pro design on the interior. This is going to help you grab a rope when you are working up for a rope climb, so it's going to be a lot more helpful for those who are a little bit more beginner or intermediate level for the rope climb. This is going to help you grab that rope a little bit better. And overall workouts, running is probably where it's going to be the least effective. It is a little bit more heavier than the previous years. And again, like I said, a little less flexible. So it is going to wear on you for especially longer runs. I probably wouldn't run longer than a 5K in this. Maybe a 5K is even pushing it a little bit. Like a mile, 2 miles should be great for it, but it can wear you a little bit, especially if you're a heel striker. You're definitely going to feel it. As far as weightlifting is concerned, this is stable, so stable, especially with that elevated heel and the soft cushiony around the ankles and the elevated tongue as well. You are stable if you need to do this for any of your lifts, snatch, deadlifts, squats, anything like that. You will feel very stable. But as far as going for like a PR or something like that, of course, going to your Olympic lifters would be your go-to. But I would definitely see this as an overall great weightlifting shoe. And as far as plyometrics and stuff like that is concerned, change in direction, this also works great with the extra stability around the ankle. You want to make sure to stay on the ball of your foot because that's where all the flexibility is, as you always should while you're on plyometrics or jump rope or anything like that. Once you hit that heel, you really feel some hardness down there. So definitely make sure to stay on the ball of your foot, but this will work great for any type of high intensity interval training, and you do great for any one of those workouts. I am going to be reviewing the Nano X1s as they come out relatively recently, so if you'd like to check out the review, make sure you are subscribed, click that notification bell so you'll get it when it comes out. Alright, what are my recommendations for the Nano 10s? So, one of the negatives I'm going to say about it is, especially with all the cushioning up front, if you are in a high heat environment and if you're working out outside and your feet get normally a little hotter in general, this will definitely really heat up your feet relatively quickly as it doesn't breathe too well, especially around the heel. With the flex weave up front, it does breathe relatively well down there, but around the heels, you'll definitely feel some heat coming in. But as far as high intensity workouts are concerned, weightlifting is concerned, this shoe is awesome, very durable. You won't need to be buying another shoe until basically the treads run down. And for running, I probably would try to find another spot for running if it were just a running specific shoe. But if you are doing running in your workouts, again, nothing longer than a mile or 2 miles. This should do you well, like a Murph workout, mile at the beginning and mile at the end. This will be great in a general sense as long as you're not landing on your heels a lot. Well, hopefully this review was helpful for you. Please smash that like button if it was. Subscribe to the channel. I got 2 fitness tech reviews throughout each and every week. Make sure you don't miss them. But as always, stay happy, stay healthy, and above all, stay positive. I'll see you guys in the next one.